What's up, everybody? It's your boy Aloe. We're back with another banger, guys. Today we got the 6-star tier list for you. A lot of you guys have been asking for this, and especially since I wasn't able to make one after Guts was released, and especially since the recent Gilgamesh Nerf. So yeah, guys, let's hop on right into it, guys. Starting off with the F tier, guys. So first off in the F tier, guys, we have Kaido 6-star. Now, how you get Kaido 6-star, guys, is you gotta be on the leaderboards. And you have to be on the leaderboards when it resets every month. So you get 1,000 gems and you get Kaido. There's a few people like Zero Pain who have like 3 or 4 Kaidos, which is pretty crazy. Now, if you're looking at Kaido's stats, guys, Kaido's stats are actually really bad. Like, really bad. He hasn't gotten quite a nerf yet, like a buff, like an orb or something like Gogeta got. So, like, his starting level 80 stats, guys, is literally like 100 damage. Actually, his starting stats aren't bad for, like, the old days, especially if you throw, like, an orb on him. He's actually not too bad, but he's, like, a worse version of Minotaur at the start. And then at the end, he can hit airs, but, like, his highest damage is 500, guys, at level 80, which is really bad. So, like, they honestly need to give him an orb. But he was cool because he's, like, an old hybrid unit from back in the day when they didn't have a whole lot of hybrid units. So, yeah, so he's a flex unit, guys, so get him if you want to flex, but other than that, yeah, he's a pass. Next up, guys, we got the Minotaur 6-star. Minotaur 6-star, guys, okay, he's dog water. Now, if you get the orb for him, he's not as bad, but, like, he's worse than Trunks, which is a 5-star, and you can only get him by getting 2 5-stars, so there's honestly no point in using Minotaur. He's pretty much just straight dog water, guys. I would pull up the stats for him, but he's just that bad, guys. He is really just that bad. Next up, guys, we got Jotaro in the C tier. Now, these C tier units aren't, like, terrible overall. If you get them, like, they're not bad to have, but they have, like, very specific, like, niche use cases. And in the case of Jotaro, he's really nice for certain story modes. He used to be really good for, like, extreme mode. He has a really high DPS, and if you throw an orb on him, he can have, like, 1,000 damage. But with Conan existing and the fact that he's only single target, he's kind of dog water right now. So that's why we're putting Jotaro there in the C tier, guys. Next up, guys, we got Whitebeard here. Now, the thing about Whitebeard is he does have an ability that can hit the airs, and you do need the orb for him, of course, guys. It's going to cost, I think you actually have to farm for this one. So that kind of puts him even lower because, like, instead of getting a better orb for, like, a better unit, like, for example, maybe a Luffy or something, you're grinding for Whitebeard or, like, the blue eye orb. So his damage is alright. It's on, like, the same tier as, like, Rukia. He has that one air attack, but, like, and he has the tsunamis, but, like, the tsunamis still suck. And, like, the air attack is not that good either. So that's why we're putting Whitebeard there in the C tier, guys. So starting off in the B tier, guys. At the top of the B tier, we have the Path or Nagato. Nagato is really solid because he does hit airs. I'm actually going to pull up his stats real quick because they're actually pretty good right here. Like, really good stats, guys. Like, level 80 with the orb. Now, again, guys, this is another orb unit, and I believe you actually have to grind for this orb as well. You're going to need 850 crafting materials. Yeah, so you're probably about 1,000 crafting materials, guys. This is probably going to take you like 5 to 10 runs to get. Assuming you're maxing out your runs like at wave 50 plus. So take that in mind. It's going to take probably a solid like 5 hours plus of grinding just to be able to get this orb. And his stats aren't like god tier, but they're pretty good. Like, his starting stats are actually pretty good at level 80. He has like 300 and then 3 SPA. So honestly, Conan's way better, but Conan's Conan, guys. Conan's OP. And then this guy does hit airs at the end, guys. His max DPS with Irwin buff, guys, you're looking at like almost 60k, guys, and like 3,000 DPS, like not 10k, over 10k DPS. So that's actually pretty solid, but not as good as the units in the higher tiers, guys. So next up here we have Golden Frieza. Now the reason Golden Frieza is so high is he's meta for like Trial 3. He's meta for pretty much everything, and his orb is really easy to get, guys. To get his orb, all you have to do is beat Trial 1, and he's gonna carry you through story mode. He's gonna carry you through a lot of things, guys. He's overall like a really solid unit, guys. So next up here, guys, we got Rukia. Rukia is a solid unit because she has like the same amount of damage as Whitebeard, so she's maxed out around 60k per hit. So she does have like 10k DPS, but she has full AoE, and I believe she has a way higher range than Whitebeard. However, she does have the same thing. You have to grind for materials for her orb. You can't just buy it with gems. And with gems being so easy to get nowadays, that is kind of a negative. So, yeah, unfortunately. So, after Rukia, guys, we're rocking with Rengoku 6-star. Now, Rengoku, he got that burn effect. He's really, really nice for, I'd say, Challenge 1 and Challenge 2. He's like the quintessential challenge mode unit, guys. Maxing him out with Irwin buff, his stats are pretty solid, especially if you put the fire orb on him. He has like he could do like 1600 damage at the start and with a 6 SPA. So honestly, I think he might end up getting an orb in a little bit, but not for maybe a couple more updates, to be honest. I don't think he's gonna get an orb for maybe a couple more updates, because he's already pretty good right now. Like, okay, so with the orb, guys, he's doing like over 2k damage with 6 SPA. So that's even better than Conan, except for the fact that his range is actually dog water. But at the max upgrade, guys, with whatever orb you want, he is going to be doing like over 100,000 damage total with burn damage. So like that's really good with a 6 SPA. So that's pretty good, but honestly overall it's actually technically, I'd probably say like maybe worse than a Rukia. So like he's on par with Rukia with damage wise. So he's not busted right now, but he's pretty good, and because he's so useful for those modes, we're putting him there in the B tier, guys. Now Ichigo, they added him. Nobody ever liked Ichigo, unfortunately. What's his name in the thing? Icky Dark or something? Yeah, Icky. Yeah, I think it's like Icky Dark. Yeah, they just really did him dirty, guys. Honestly, I think this guy is going to get an orb in the next update. Like, starting out his stats, he's not that bad start. 537 damage, 6 SPA. Again, that is like with a 30 range, so it is actually not too bad at the start. But however, he maxed out at like 3k DPS, and he's so expensive. So I feel like they might end up giving this guy an orb, especially because he can't hit airs and he doesn't have like any freeze effect or anything. So yeah, I don't think you should get this guy. He's just there because he does technically have a high damage, and you don't need an orb for him. And the units to get him are pretty easy to get, guys. So that's why he's up there. Moving up here to A tier, guys, we got Goku 6-star at the top of A tier. Now, Goku 6-star is going to be at the top of A tier because he can become Vegito. So now, instead of wasting a slot for like a 4-star or like using an ult or something, you can just use Goku. So, and Goku has a pretty solid DPS. Not as good as the S tier units, but pretty high. And the only reason he's above Kirito in my mind is because you can use him for Vegito. Like, if you couldn't use him for Vegito, guys, honestly, I probably wouldn't say he's better than Kirito. So now we're up next, guys, at Kirito. Kirito's kind of hard to get because you have to do like the last story mode, or you have to spend your gold to get the story mode units. But he does evolve from a 4-star to 6-star, so he's not as hard to get as a lot of these guys. Now, he's really nice. He does have a high SPA, I believe like 11. But, yeah, but it's not bad overall. I really like him because his AoE circle is huge, so he actually ends up doing more DPS overall than Goku. A lot of people, like, diss me for that opinion, but, like, I made video after video of him dumping on Goku, so Kirito 6-star, guys, is definitely a way to go. Alright, guys, moving up here, guys, we got Giorno. Giorno, the only reason he's in A tier, guys, is he's meta for Infinite Mode. So, you're going to need one guy with him if you want to do Infinite Mode. He's like a time stop unit that works in addition to the other time stop units. And his DPS actually isn't too bad if you want to use him on story mode. He is like very, very small AoE. He can hit like a few units, especially if you group them up with Blackbeard and time stop. So, overall, not a bad unit. Definitely get him if you're wanting to go on the leaderboard. Moving up to the S tier, guys. We're actually going to start from the bottom here for S tier. Bottom of S tier, guys, I'm putting in Guts. Now, Guts actually technically has a 100,000 DPS if you use him perfectly, which is actually the highest DPS of pretty much any unit, actually. I'd have to do the math that's better than Gilgamesh, but it's up there with Gilgamesh. Actually, it's probably better than Gilgamesh. Yeah, it's better than Gilgamesh, like, technically speaking. Or it's close to Gilgamesh. So, like, damage-wise, however, that's factoring in his bleed, guys. So, unfortunately, that's factoring in his bleed, which makes him a little bit harder to use. So, he's good if you only have one of them, or maybe one person on your team with him equipped. But once you get multiple people with him equipped, man, now you're starting to lack a little bit. So, next up, guys, we got Luffy. Luffy is super good because of his crazy range and his big buff with the orb. He's doing, like, 250k damage. Like, bro, he's busted right now. I have a video dropping this afternoon of the Luffy 6-star army, guys. Oh, my gosh, bro. You got to check it out, man. Luffy 6-star army with the orb goes hard. Goes hard, man. Totally busted. Next up, guys, we got Blackbeard. Yo, everybody knows Blackbeard. He's the best slow unit. Honestly, some people want me to put him at the top of S tier. He's, like, been meta the longest out of all the 6-stars. Like, he's honestly probably never going to be not meta unless they release, like, a better version of him that can hit airs. Next up, guys, we got Gilgamesh, guys. Yo, everybody's gonna hate on me for putting Gilgamesh, but bro, after the nerf, man, I think Kakashi actually might have a higher DPS. Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure Kakashi has a higher DPS after the Gilgamesh nerf. It's close, but I think Kakashi has the edge. That's why I'm putting Kakashi ahead, and plus, you can, like, control where Kakashi hits, and you don't have that whack 30 SPA stuff you have to deal with. So that's why I'm putting Gilgamesh there. And after his nerf, guys, go check out my nerf video if you haven't seen it already. That's why I'm putting it there. Next up at the top, guys, we got Kakashi. Yo, he's hard to use. He's hard to use with Erwin. However, he does have the highest DPS in the game. Pretty sure, or close to the highest. And you don't have to deal with that whack 30 SPA crap. So that's why we're putting Kakashi at the top. If Gilgamesh didn't have that recent nerf, I'd probably put Gilgamesh at the top. So there you go, guys. There's the tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and let me know if you would change this tier list at all in the comments below, and I'll catch you all in the next one, guys. Bland Spot out. Peace.